Hi, love. Um, I have a message I want to share with you today about COVID. Now, before you scroll away, before you click away, unless you chose to be here, I ask you just to give me a chance. There's probably things I'm going to say that go against what you currently believe or how you see the world. And if you have capacity or desire, I want to invite if you can be curious or open to what I'm going to say. And maybe try to push those things aside a little bit while still listening to your body and honoring your needs, your limits, and anything else that may be there. Okay, COVID is not over. COVID never ended. COVID has always been a disabling virus, and it still is. I want to share something that's been on my heart a lot lately, and it's around specifically when I talk to other trans people who are not COVID conscious. It makes my heart a little bit more heavy. I wasn't alive during the AIDS. I don't know if it's an pandemic. I don't know. I wasn't alive during that time, and I honestly will say I haven't done extensive research or have an extensive understanding of what living during that time was. It hasn't dropped as one of my special interests yet. Um, but what I can relate to or what I can think about is that I'm sure during that time there's a lot of grief, especially in the Black trans community, around seeing people that you love die or seeing people you love their lives changed by something that you nor them have any, let's say, control over. But there is some control. And the reason I say this is that I implore you, I ask you to please start masking again. Or look up some reasons why or some information around it. And the reason I say this is because there's this grief I'm holding in my heart, this anticipatory grief of how I will have to mourn or change my relationships in the coming years as COVID continues to evolve. And many people in my community, Black, specifically the Black trans disabled community, um, aren't changing with it, aren't changing with the reality of whether or not we do something about it, this virus is still going to have an impact on our lives. And there are things that we can do about it, like masking, like testing, like talking about COVID, like raising awareness. I just think about my elders and my ancestors who were alive during the times of the AIDS pandemic, who probably were just begging their friends to wear a condom. And obviously, or like, obviously, that's not the only way that AIDS, HIV, or anything like that is passed. And needles and like all these things. I say this all to say is like I really want you, whoever's reading this video, maybe it's going to be something you'll write to. Whoever's is watching this, reading this, I want you so deeply to care about COVID again. I want you to care about it again for myself because a lot of days I feel really fucking alone in my experience of being a person that masks and trying to navigate a world that always feels dangerous on any level, whether it's the fact that I'm Black and trans and, you know, live in a world of military and police state, but also afraid of the air, of even the people I love because they're not taking it seriously. Or I won't go into the reasons why right now. I really ask you to start your journey of learning more about this virus and how it impacts our bodies because I promise you it matters. I promise you And the reason a part of me sometimes feels like begging is because I want to avoid this grief of watching people I love becoming more disabled and or dying, because we still don't know what long COVID is completely. We're still in the figuring out phase. Not the fucking, we're still in the fucking figuring out phase too. Because unfortunately, we're not going to know because everything is new. What we do know is that masking does help. What we do know is airflow, air quality, all these different things matter. Air filtration, air purification. I don't know. I get those things mixed up. What we do know is that it is airborne. We do know that it lives in the air like smoke and it can stay in the air of any given space for, I don't quote me on this, but up to 2, possibly more hours. We do know that people are getting sicker and becoming more disabled, and is impacting and changing people's bodies for short times, for long times, and sometimes permanently. We know that this virus has had impacts on people's bodies that are irreversible. No, this video isn't for me to, I don't, this video isn't me to, for me to scare you about becoming disabled. I don't, maybe this video is to scare you to like, not scare you, but encourage you, ask you to consider something else and to be realistic. And we're some of the most marginalized people in this world. And that means when we do get pushed to these margins of also becoming more disabled, the access and the resources we have to navigate that are a lot limited. They don't have to be. Don't wait until you're already there to give a fuck. Don't wait until it's harder and harder for you to adapt and exist within ableist or not ableist, able bodied or non disabled spaces. Don't wait until you have no option. Do it now. You still have an option, you still have a choice. Make a different choice. We need you. We all need each other. You need me, I need you. Please make a different choice when it comes to COVID. I don't want to lose you. I don't want you to die because there were very tangible things we could have done, you could have done, we could have done. This is a group project. I could have done to make that different. If this video encourages one person to put a fucking mask on again, it was worth it. If this video encourages one person to look up something about COVID that isn't from a government site lying about it, but to look into, and I'll put some tags and some resources down below. So if you want to start there, you can start there. I will try to collect as much as I can and put it in one place. But if this video can change the direction of any one person's life in regards to COVID to where they are being safe or healthier or giving a fuck about their community and themselves and their bodies and the bodies and the communities of others a little bit more, then it was fucking worth it. So this feels very vulnerable. I struggled a lot feeling isolated by this pandemic and by making the choice of doing something different with COVID, which has in a lot of spaces and a lot of people deem me to be crazy and weird and what the fuck, or just sometimes like too much or overwhelming or whatever the case may be. And while I made that choice, it doesn't change the consequences or the response to that choice doesn't hurt. But I believe there's an existence where it doesn't have to hurt, where more people can join me here and we can be okay, or start building systems of we can be okay. But part of that is acknowledging our reality, and the reality is that COVID never ended. It is still impacting us. And we still need to make choices in regards to protecting ourselves from COVID. Because while it is inevitable that we will become more disabled, because disability is something that touches everyone's life. The life of someone that's born with a disability, someone who gets older. As we become more older, we become more disabled. We will innately become more disabled. Or someone that has an accident or an injury or a big life event that changes their life and in turn requires them to make changes and they're now disabled. I just ask you this because I don't want to lose my people if I don't have to. I understand I'm going to lose people. I understand that a lot of people in my life will die inevitably, but there are ways they don't have to. There are tangible ways we can protect ourselves a little bit more so that not as many of us have to die. This doesn't have to be the option. We can choose something else. And I implore you, I ask you, I won't beg you today. Maybe it's my abandonment issues, but don't leave me. Don't leave me for something that could have been different and you just chose not to do anything about it. COVID is a community project. You need community. It makes it so much easier. I won't say it's impossible, but I'll tell you from my experience, it's really hard. Find your community, find your people. Check out the resources I put down below. Or do nothing. Or just process this video, think about it, talk about it with someone else, send it to another person. Or do nothing, but know that I really appreciate you watching and listening. And know that we always have choices. Even when they're hard and scary, we always have choices. I love you and I appreciate you either way. Either way of whether you do something or not. I still want you to be here. Now and in the future.